Excuse me,
Additionally, Satoshi Nakamoto influenced by,
excuse me, sir.
excuse me,
Sir, while you speaking, some
yes,
noise
please,
also come. While you speaking, some noise also come.
noise.
Yes, yes, yes. Noise.
Okay, okay, wait, just a minute. Let me try with my headset. Just a minute. Am I audible now,
Yes, sir.
participants?
Yes, sir. Voice is clear.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear now?
Yes, 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 sir.
Yo, thank you, thank you, thank you. So, not only timestamping a digital document, timestamping digital document is a kind of a security for the document, but additionally, uh, digital signatures and cryptographic hash kind of technology is influenced in blockchain. So this blockchain is a major core. This is the core protocol which is play a crucial role in Bitcoin. So consider as a most disruptive technology innovation after internet. This is a disruptive. It's not gradually. It's not consistent. It's drastically moving to going to information technology. A public ledger of transactions. Public ledger of transactions a distributed ledger technology. Distributed like every peer so contains those records, these transactions, which is timestamped and maintain the chronological order. The timestamps use it to maintain the chronological order, so that you cannot able to do tampering or cannot able to do modification in your. Then the timestamp will differ. So recent days, blockchain as a system heavily attracted by financial network and researchers. So in financial network, basically this blockchain is used for payments. So Lightning So recent days, they are used in financial network and researchers, they are working in security concepts and protocol concepts, and they are working on the scalability blockchain due to its peer-to-peer, decentralized, instantaneous, and pseudonymous nature. So peer-to-peer, I will explain you one by one. Next, a very interesting part here is this Bitcoin is not only academically approaching one. This is you can use for trading also. So here, Bitcoin, the very first application of blockchain in 2008. That time, the price of one Bitcoin is initially it was zero. Even it is there is no value for Bitcoins, but during April 2011, the value of one Bitcoin is $1. So today, the value of one Bitcoin is 11,905. That's $9,905 US dollars. But last time, the month of June, the last webinar I have took that time when I give the thing, this one, the value is $9,612. What kind of improvement? $9,612 to $11,905. So the total market capital, the total value of Bitcoin in the blockchain network is involved is $178 billion. So this numbers are I have taken from this link. I have given the link below. These numbers are taken from this website. So this is not only academically approachable technology. This is a trading. This is a huge capital amount invested platform. So this platform will going to change every day. Even if tomorrow the value may change, the day after tomorrow, then why this much of value for this Bitcoin? Why this much of value? Because the technology gives that much of benefits at the background. So these are the various features of blockchain. The one is peer-to-peer. So why we will call it as peer-to-peer? Peer-to-peer network, you may all aware of peer-to-peer network. Blockchain is a peer-to-peer network. Every peer has its own copy of the ledger. So the ledger is nothing but of blocks connected in a sequence. That is a ledger, blocks connected in a sequence. Every block contains a collection of transactions. So this database is available in every peer. So that's why we'll call it as peer-to-peer technology. And distributed ledger technology as well. Distributed ledger, this ledger, this database is distributed. That is, everyone can have. Even if you download the wallet software, if you download the software, you can also have this ledger. So the complete set of records. But the one thing is, we have full node and thin node. The full node contains complete set of records. The thin node is specifically for thin clients. That is mobile, palm top, and your tab for that. So we will not available with full complete set of records. So you have full nodes. If you download full node software, you can have complete set of records. And decentralized. As I said, decentralized, this peer-to-peer, decentralized. Every subnetwork can have a miner. I will tell you miner, what is miner and what is the purpose of miner. So every subnetwork have miners. So miners will play a crucial role. Miners actually generates Bitcoins. Then immutable ledger. This ledger is immutable. Immutable means it is tamper-proof. You cannot modify. It is highly impossible to modify these records, because if you change, if you try to tamper, if you try to modify a small value, it will make an avalanche effect in your ledger. I will show you. I will show you one way during the session. Next, secure. So since it is immutable, obviously it is secure. And pseudonymous nature. Pseudonymous nature. So some X sending to Y. So you don't know about the X, you don't know about the Y. So even if you send a mail ID, you have an identity called ID, mail ID. So this mail ID, using the mail ID, you can able to trace, or you can able to trail back the identity of the person. But here, this pseudonymous nature, the ID or the address of the accountant of the Bitcoin user is pseudonymous. You cannot able to identify, or you cannot able to track the original identity of the person. So that is the key idea behind this. And because of this, this Bitcoin is used by various illicit users for illegal purpose. They are using it for money laundering, and they are using for the ransomware attacks. There is so many ransomware from 2015 to till now, so many ransomware. They are approaching this Bitcoin as a payment system. I think everyone is aware of ransomware. They will attack one system or a file, important file, and they will ask for ransomware. So in that case, Bitcoin as a payment system they are using. Blockchain technology. So why this Bitcoin and blockchain is not same. Bitcoin is a cash. It's a cryptographic cash cryptographic asset. But blockchain is a technology. Blockchain is the background core technology. Blockchain technology enforces a distributed consensus. What distributed consensus? Even so many participants are present. Okay, there is only one winner. So imagine a situation. I'll tell you the scenario. Imagine a situation in our childhood days in max class. Our subject staff, max handling staff, is asked you to do a problem with everyone. They will give us a competition. They will give us a training test. Everyone will do the problem, but the only one person will solve the problem, and everyone will accept the answer and they will write on the notebooks. The same thing, the same concept. There is a mathematically computational problem that will generated by the protocol, and that should be solved by a person involved in the network. So the winner will get the Bitcoin as a reward. So who is the winner? Obviously, who is solving the problem first. So the one who solves the problem first will get the Bitcoin as a reward. And not only Bitcoin as a reward, and that the person can able to create blocks, and they can able to handle transactions. So cryptographic transaction. Transaction is nothing but of sending money or sending an information from one person to another person. From X to Y. This is one transaction. So this authorized person, the puzzle solved, the one who solved the puzzle is an authorized person, or is an authorized system, or is a network of system. It is able to create blocks, and the blocks contains transactions. So these transactions are timestamped, as well as it is cryptographically hashed. You know, everyone is aware of hash cryptography. So it is a one-way algorithm. We'll call it as. So once you converted using once you encrypted, or once you use hash algorithm, it will convert the original into hash, and you cannot reverse back. The reverse back is impossible. So every transaction is cryptographically hashed and time-stamped. That's why it is tamper-proof. That's why it is highly unable to modify. So rendering it difficult to compromise the integrity of its records. So because of this nature, this distributed consensus and cryptographic transaction, it is difficult to compromise the integrity. The integrity means the content, the information. Like information is difficult to compromise without being noticed by an entire network. That is, since it is peer-to-peer, if you change one node, if you change in one node, every node will get reflect, and every node is you can see. So there is some modification. So it is highly impossible to tamper the records. A linear connected blocks with collection of transactions. So every block contains transactions and event records. So transaction in Bitcoin, but if you go for some other use cases like a healthcare system and healthcare system, insurance system, so that in that case it's all about event records. The later blocks maintain the hash generated by the previous block. This is the link between the previous and the later block. So the next node, the next block contains the hash of the previous block. So there is a link. There is a cryptographic link between two blocks. So then what about the initial block? Initial block is called Genesis block. The initial block is called as Genesis block. This Genesis block having null value, that is some 00 null values. So from the next blocks there is a hash, and the later hash blocks having the hash of the previous blocks. So that is the main link between two blocks. So which makes the transaction records immutable. So once if you try to change, the hash value of the block will change. Once the hash value will get changed, the link will be disconnected. So that's why it is cryptographically, that's why it is highly immutable. Because if you try to change one value present in your block in a transaction, some XX into YY, if you try to change, it will make an avalanche effect. It will drastically change the complete hash value. So once the hash value changes, the link will be disconnected, which provides strong integrity and cryptographically robust in nature. Blockchain enables records shared by all the network nodes. These records are shared with all the network nodes, updated by miners. Miners are the nodes. Nodes, user computers, or any device nodes. If you download the software, you can take part. You can take part in the blockchain environment. That is node. But miners are the nodes with high computational resources. They are computational resources, high power computer systems to calculate, to do that competition, to take part in the competition and to solve for first. Nodes with high computational resource will participate in competition and involved in transaction validation process. Not only in competition, but also involved in transaction validation process. This validation is very simple in blockchain because imagine it is like in a 64-bit character, the first 8 character must be 0. So this calculation using this 64 character must be a hash value. The first 8 value must be 0. So this validation is easy. This validation is very simple. Anyone can see and they can assure that it is correct. But the calculation, getting an first 80 in hash value is difficult. For that, you need a huge computational resource to do calculation in a fastest manner. So you have to change the numbers and you have to get different hash values. So once the first 8 digit is 0, so that you are the winner of the competition. So I'm giving it as an example, but the process of the problem solving is very difficult. Next. So each and every block contains a block number, a previous hash value, transaction data, and current hash value. This I can show you with a simulator. So this is a simulation environment, a demo environment available in GitHub. Here you can, are you visible this screen? Hello participant, anyone please respond.
No sir, not visible.
Yes,
Not
sir,
visible.
visible.
Contradict answer. Okay,
visible,
visible,
sir.
right?
Visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here I am typing in data Explorer. I am typing some data, say like XXX transfer some value to YYY. Now see the hash value. You can see the hash value is become changed. So why I am saying this hash is playing a very crucial role. If I change a single character, say suppose if I delete this one single Y, immediately the hash value becomes changed. So the thing is, so the small change or even a bit is changed the hash value. The avalanche effect will be done in hash cryptography. That's why it is very strong. even a question mark or even a dot. So even a bit can change your hash value. Once I have given the original value, you will get the original hash value. So this is the thing. This is the idea behind hash cryptography. So hash value. So block number, hash value, transaction data, and current hash. Here I can show you one block. See here. So here you have a block number, you have a nonce. Nonce is nothing but of a number used only once. Meaning if you change, so here you cannot able to change the block number because block number is a sequential data in the records. So you cannot change data. Data means XXX transfer, a transaction data. Some X person transferring to Y person this much of amount. I'll tell you. XXX to YYY. Transferring some $100. And you have generated with one hash. Here, if you want to participate, if you want to generate hash, this is the only way to change your hash value. That is, if you change the nonce one by one, the hash value becomes changed. Once the hash value changes, it means it is taking part in the competition. The competition is like the first 8 digits become 0 or the first 24 digits become 0. Meaning, if you change the nonce, you cannot change any other value because all the values are constant. You cannot change the data. You cannot change the block number because block number is a sequential value. So you cannot change. But the only thing you can change is this nonce. If you change nonce, your hash value become changed. So once you get the required or you have solved the problem, you will get rewarded by the Bitcoin. And as a reward, you will get some Bitcoin. And once you solve the problem, you are able to create a block. So that block can be attached to the blockchain. The longest chain is the authenticated source. So everyone will, all the participants or all the peers will together distributed consensus occur only with the longest chain. So here, once if you change the nonce, your hash value becomes changed. So this is the block content, block data. So you have block number, previous hash value, transaction data, and current hash value. And I can show you one more thing here. You can see here, you have block 1, block 2, block 3. This is a demo environment. This is not a working environment. This is a demo environment. You can feel the blockchain environment. Here, this is the first block. See the value, previous value, null value, everything is 0. And the value and the current hash of the first block is the first 4 characters is 0. The first 4 characters is 0, and that is the previous block hash in the later block. That is in block 2, the previous value is current value of block 1. In block 3, the previous value is current value of block 2. The cryptographical link. Even in data structure, the linked list concept we have, but that is different. So it is similar like that. But here is cryptography. This is hash cryptography. So if you change one thing here, then the remaining will be invalid. See, the colors are changed. That is because your hash value is changed. Once the hash value change, the next blocks will be invalid. So the invalid peer will not be considered for validation process or for blockchain. So immediately they will remove from the environment. Only the valid peers have the longest chain will have the validation process and can able to generate blocks. Next, block. Block is a timestamp database arranged in a linear chronological order. As I said, each and every block contains a number, block number. It's a sequential number. Even I can show you in the real-time environment. Go for Blockchain Explorer. You can able to see the real-time blockchain generations. Here, the latest blocks. And they have mentioned as height. This height is nothing but of the sequential number. If you go for this one, you can see block number here 644383 and the hash value. See the hash value. The first n characters become 0. So the person, the system or the pool, mining pool who solved this problem becomes a creator of the block. So once they created, they can able to have transactions. See the number of transactions present in this block, 2,839 transactions. And this block is timestamped just before. And the difficulty level. This is the concept. This is the actual environment. And you can able to see the transactions also.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what do you mean by difficulty here? One number is there in front of difficulty on the Bitcoin information.
The difficulty is the problem solving difficulty.
So what that number means, that figure is so large actually. So what that number means in front of the difficulty? Yes.
What you were saying about this one,
This
right?
in front, this number, sir. So what is the meaning of that number?
This number is the number of times the miner is tried to solve the problem.
Okay.
The number of times, this many times the miners tried to solve the problem. To get this many number of zeros in the first.
Okay.
If you see, this validation process is very easy. Just this many zeros, just you can see and you can validate. But creating this, if you want to create this hash, you want to keep on change the numbers, the nonce. So that many difficulty, that is called difficulty here.
Okay, sir.
Getting now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Hello.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, then why this number difficulty, it is having 0.61. What does that fraction means?
Means that is before the next number, it gets solved. That is, there is no integer value. So it's a fraction of seconds, or during the change happen, it may get solved.
Okay, sir.
That is the thing.
Okay, sir.
And here you can see the transactions. So this is pseudonymous nature. That is, this hash value send some value to this hash value. This is an input and this is the output. This is the sender and this is the receiver. So they have sent this much of Bitcoin, BTC, point value. So one BTC is, you can convert to USD also as well. You can see. So here the transfer is happened. And this transaction is unconfined, which means it is updated in the peer, but still it is not confined. It is not a confined transaction. So every peer can have this transaction record. But once the block is added, it gets confirmed. And the transaction fee goes to minus only. So minus will get reward, Bitcoin as a reward, as well as transaction fee as for doing the transactions. To update their transactions in the block. So this block is a timestamped database. I have shown you timestamped, arranged in a linear chronological order. And Genesis block, the very first block of the blockchain where the previous hash value is specified with null. Chain or cryptographic link. The current block has the hash value of the previous block. That is the major link. That is the cryptographic link between two blocks. And the hash value. So, sorry, hash. The hash is the popular SHA. SHA 256 is the popular one-way hashing function used in the blockchain to generate hash value, which is similar to fingerprint of a block. That is fingerprint of a person. So using a person, you can get the fingerprint, but using the fingerprint, you cannot able to draw, or you cannot able to imagine a person how he look like. So that kind of, it's a one-way algorithm. Data, collection of transaction data or event records. Example, EHR we have mentioned, but it is transaction records. For event records, it is electronic health records you can, or stored in every blocks. So the next one is block number. A sequential number is assigned for every blocks. The height, I have shown you in the real environment, that is height. And nonce, a number used only once to generate a hash value to solve the problem. So here, block 1, block 2, block 3. So block 1 has data but don't have previous hash value. The hash value becomes null, and you have a hash value that is connected with your next block, the previous hash value for the later blocks. And hash cryptography. Blockchain uses hash cryptography, that is short to double security agency. The core concept behind your blockchain protocol is this hash cryptography. Secure hash algorithm 256 is a mathematical function generate a 64-bit alphanumeric string called hash. That is 64-bit, irrespective of its size of data. That is, if you give so much of data, you will generate 64-bit. If you give 1 bit, you will generate 64-bit. So, irrespective of its size, your hash is 64-bit only, alphanumeric string. And the characteristics of hash is a one-way function. That is, you can using data you can generate hash, but using hash you cannot able to reverse back and get the data. One-way function, easy to perform, but extremely difficult to reverse the data. In so many validation process, we are giving username, password, everything nowadays they are using hash only. And deterministic, same data for same hash. If you use same data, you will get any time with respect of time, with respect of number of try, you will get the same hash. And collision tolerant, that is trying to make same hash value for different data using brute forcing. That is, if you use brute forcing and you are trying, because 64 is a finite number. So you are keep on brute forcing, and you are trying to make a hash value which is the same hash value for different data. That is in here it is collision tolerant. That is, it is highly difficult. It is possible but highly difficult. Change impact or avalanche effect. Even a small change in the data affect the overall hash value. And speed computation. Hash generation is computationally fast irrespective of its data size. And I have given the link below of the demo environment. You can try in your own. Next, blockchain use cases. In so many use cases, blockchains are now, they are working now, mainly in banking and financial area. So instant payment, that is, the payment processing is very fast if you use blockchain. Then capital market, you can invest huge number. You can with respect to of borders, with respect of any border. So here from India, you can transfer the amount instantly to US. So in traditional environment, it will take 2 or 3 days. But here, if you use, it will like a lightning payment. And capital market, a huge market value is involved here, and trading as well. As I showed you, in June in June month 2020, the value of Bitcoin is $9,000, $9,612. But now, even in 2 months, it is 11,000. See, if you buy that time, you will get a benefit of a benefit in huge. So trade finance and money laundering protection. So money laundering here, it is mentioned as protection, but most of the cases, blockchain is majorly used for money laundering process, because since it is borderless, the unauthorized users and illicit users, they are trying to launder their money, illegal fund in blockchain environment. And insurance and peer-to-peer transactions. Peer-to-peer transactions, there is the major advantage is absence of middleman. If you transfer, if you do payment, a middleman should validate your transaction. The middleman will have the ledger, and he will debit from your account, and he will credit in the opponent account. So this middleman this middleman role will not be in blockchain. Business applications, supply chain management, health records, healthcare, real estate, and media industry. Media industry, nowadays they are launching satellite. Movies are launching in satellite. But if you use blockchain, it is very simple. Within a fraction of a second, throughout the world, you can upload your movies. Other industries like cybersecurity, big data. That's why this is so many use cases available blockchain. But still now, some of them are in research perspective, because there is no full implementation of blockchain in any industry. Only the Bitcoin and Ethereum. So these kind of platforms, IBM, these platforms are using blockchains, and they are doing research to this use cases. Data storage, IoT, MOOC is one of the major use case you can use for blockchain. You can use in blockchain environment. And government, since it is a non-regulated platform, government is doing their research how to regulate this one. So record management in government, they can use for record management, identity management, voting. Imagine if you have a university, online university, imagine. So you can use blockchain for identity management and for certificate distributions. And for record management, you can use blockchain. And voting, online voting, tax payments, non-profit agencies, regulatory boards. These are the many use cases you can use, like Internet of Things. So previously it is for only one purpose, but after the decade, it is attack the information technology. Likewise, this blockchain also can attack the information technology world. And the potential risk of blockchain users, that is, the very first one is more than half, that is 51% of attack. This 51% of what it is mean is a miner node or a mining pool having a computational power more than 51% of the total blockchain protocol power. So that means they can able to attack the records. When a single miner node possesses more than half of, that is 51% of the network processing power, the dominant node can outspace the all other nodes. So they can able to modify the records, manipulate the blockchain, and insert fraudulent transactions. So they can manipulate the records and they can insert some fraudulent transactions. This 51% is not happen simple. It is very difficult. Why? Because if you see in the whole world, they are the power of the blockchain. The whole world, they are using the miners, the peers using power must be greater than, half of the power should be greater than with single miner. The single miner should have this much of power. Then only they can do this. So this is highly difficult, but this is possible. Then identity theft. Identity theft, that is, it is like keeping username password safe. Once you leave this username password or the public key private key, in blockchain it is called it as public key private key. If you lost your public key private key, then all your assets are lost. Simple. You cannot able to get back, and you cannot able to approach a authorized person. There is no authorized person, and there is no third party in the environment. And illegal activities. Blockchain facilitates money laundering and darknet marketplace. Everyone aware of the darknet marketplace, that is using VPN, many illegal goods trades happening in darknet marketplaces like drugs and gold. These are the illegal market, like in online. Blockchain facilitates money laundering and darknet, where most of the illegal drugs and goods are in business. Anonymous buyers and sellers use Bitcoin as a payment. So this is a major risk. This is a risk, and this is the area to need to concentrate. Payment, because of its anonymity in nature. Since it is anonymous, you cannot able to trace the person involved in the transaction. So that is the thing. Anonymous buyers and sellers use Bitcoin as a payment because of its anonymity nature. And next one is system hacking. So it is difficult to hack it is difficult to attack the records, but it is easy to attack the system. If the miner having the huge infrastructure, huge system computational power, it is easy to attack the computational power, and they can degrade the power. The competitors will do attack and they can degrade the power. This is one of the major concern we have to take. We need to do research, that is system hacking. It is difficult to hack and alter records stored in a blockchain, but not the programming codes. Yes, the programming codes or records is difficult to hack, but the system is easy. System that implements its technology. For example, in March 2014, about $700 million were stolen from the largest Tokyo-based Bitcoin exchange, Mt. Gox. So these are the major risks involved in blockchain environment. And here, platform for blockchain development. So those are interested and those are trying to work in blockchain. They have various platforms to work, and one of the most popular platform is Ethereum, and followed by Hyperledger, R3, Ripple, EOS, and even IBM also as well. IBM is also having blockchain platform for blockchain development. And the language, the most popular language used to develop blockchain, and the blockchain developers are used, is Solidity. It is like a kind of derived from C++, JavaScript, and Python. It's influenced, sorry, not derived, the influence. The popular language used by blockchain developers designed for EVM. This Solidity language is used for Ethereum. Ethereum virtual machine. This virtual machine is used to create blockchain platform. And that environment is demo environment. Don't confuse with that environment and this one. This is a platform, original platform. You can able to work on blockchain. This is the language you can use to develop blocks, and you can able to create. You can able to participate in your next future direction. Not only it is a future direction, it is a research area. Since most of them are in academician, your research area of research, you can concentrate in this blockchain also. The first one is forensic investigation. Forensic investigation, although blockchain technology prevents fraudulent behaviors, it cannot detect anomalies by its own combination of innovative techniques and methods need to be detect anomalies and attacks. That is, you can able to see what transferred happened, but who is transferred, you cannot able to identify. That's why it is pseudonymous. So this pseudonymous is one side it is benefit, and another other side it is a huge disadvantage. That is, anyone can participate and anyone can transfer money. So the illicit users can take it as advantage, and they will transfer the illegal funds to the. So this anomaly transaction identifying is difficult in blockchain environment. So that's why this forensic investigation, blockchain forensics is a huge area. It is in a state of art for research. Then blockchain reputations. This blockchain reputations is purely based on the keys. As I said previously, if your keys are lost, which means all your assets are lost completely in a cloud environment. That's all. You cannot able to get back your assets. You cannot able to complain also anyone. There is no third party. It's completely a peer-to-peer environment. So once the reputation is mainly based on the cryptographic keys, and the transaction loss of keys means loss of assets, and the identity on the network, yes, as well, identity also lost. Law enforcement and regulation. So it's, since in so many countries this Bitcoin and blockchain environment are unregulated, which means they are considering this as illegal money. So the illicit users are trying to transfer their illicit funds to the terrorists. Like terrorists, they can transfer their funds to some other country easy. So because of that, law enforcement and regulatory agencies keep on doing research to solve the pitfalls in the environment. Blockchain adoption. Since actually the usage, if you're trying to use blockchain, it is very easy. But the core technology behind the blockchain is difficult. That's why it is not able to, like, adoption is not easy as like internet. So internet is even everyone is adopted with internet now, but blockchain is not like that. So that behind the core technology and everything is difficult. Using is easy. Widespread of adoption is essential for successful prevention of frauds and other types of attacks, because any mechanism and protection inherent in technology cannot work unless it is widely accepted and adopted by the majority of the society. That is, most of the companies are working on that, and soon, even in 2 or 3 years, I think most of the companies will adopt blockchain for their usage. And finally, I came to the conclusion that blockchain technology and its defining characteristics are in state-of-art technology for detecting online fraud, intrusions, identifies illicit activities where the blockchain technology ecosystem involved. So the major focus here is the academician having a huge area of research in blockchain. So the academician can able to try or can publish papers in blockchain. We have so many environment like intrusion, fraud detection, anomaly detection, identifying illicit activities, identifying anomaly activities. So this kind of research areas are available to researchers to do their research. Further research direction is need to improve the technology and counter-attack measures. And the further research direction in the sense the consensus algorithm you can able to do research. So here in previously proof of work. So proof of work is the consensus algorithm. That is the longest chain holder will always be the validator, will authenticator. So there is a small little bit change you can do in the consensus and the scalability problem will arise. So how can we solve the scalability? So these are the major areas of research are still in pending to improve in blockchain environment, and counter attacks, how to identify the brute forcing attacks. Like I said, this one, avalanche effect and collision tolerant. Yes, in collision tolerant, I said if you try to brute force, you can able to get two same hash value for different data, because 64-bit is a finite number. That's why. So we can work on that, and system attacks, DDoS attacks, distributed denial of this kind of attacks are still in research area in blockchain environment in this network. So thank you. From this, I have finishing my webinar. I express my gratitude to the management of the college, and the Department of Computer Science. Thank you.